Meals, loved by many, wanted by all. Unfortunately, these are the real facts. So the applicability of whether a cheat meal is great or not. Let's firstly just take away the word cheat meal. If we're looking at autonomy and we're looking at developing your ability to make this a lifestyle and make this something that you can manage your weight, terminology and the thought process around terminology is super critical to how you view things. To have a cheat away, having a cheat meal, it implies that the rest of your day and the rest of your stuff is not what you want to have, and therefore you're cheating on it. Now, if you take cheating into a different context, like a relationship, you're probably not happy with the relationship if you are cheating on someone. And if we bring it back to food, is that why isn't your normal day to day? Why do you want to cheat on that? And then if you think about that and you're like, well, it's super restrictive, I don't like the foods that I'm eating, then they're your problems. They're the things that you need to solve before whether you find out if you have a cheat meal or not. So don't call it a cheat meal. It's just a meal that you're eating that's different to what you normally eat. That's all it is. It's a off routine, off plan meal. It's something that is a nice meal, whatever you want to call it. Have your own variation. Just don't call it something that is cheating or that's something that is like away from what you normally do, because it should be real life. I have meals like this every single week. It's a social meal. It's a free meal. It's whatever it is. Now, from physiology, depending on what you've read, you'll probably have read maybe that cheat meals increase your metabolism and they make things better, and then you burn more fat after you have them. Wrong. It gives you so much more energy, and it gives you your ability to burn more fat, and it allows your all the insides to get stronger, and it'll fuel your next week to burn more calories. Wrong. Now, what cheat meals do, the research is really clear. One day or one increase of food doesn't change anything hormonally, or doesn't change anything from a appetite, physiologically, like testosterone or any hormones. It doesn't change any of those. So we're not actually getting any physiological benefit. Now, diet breaks and maintenance weeks, they give you physiological changes. They, reduce your hunger, they reduce your tiredness, they reduce your fatigue, they reduce your physiology to being more normalized compared to dieting. But it's only when you do that for more than 3 days or above. So you have to eat to maintenance for 3 days or above to get any physiological changes, which is the reason why most people are doing it, to stoke the metabolism, or to do anything metabolism wise, it needs more than 3 days. 3 days to affect your hunger, to reduce it, 3 days to affect your strength and your performance and your appetite, all the things, 3 days. So one meal doesn't change any of those. So why does it work? Now, for years, people have done cheat meals and then done a really aggressive diet during the week. They've used this day and used this meal or day or whatever they've used as a calorie increase. They go and eat what they want. And because they do that, they stick to their diet for the rest of the 6 days. So it's all it's psychological. It's all psychological when it comes to cheat meals. If you have a cheat meal on a Saturday, you're more than likely going to stick to your diet for the rest of the week, because you've been so rigid, so that you get that reward of having that cheat meal every Saturday, every Sunday, whatever it is. And that's when it works. But it doesn't work because of the calorie increases and decreases. You have to have a relative large margin. So if you're eating, that cheat meal is 3,000 to 4,000 calories, and then the rest of your week is 1,600 calories, it balances out to average around 1,800 calories. And that will be the amount of calories that you burn, and that will be relative to how much fat loss that you want on a week-to-week basis. It's only calories at the end of the day. It's just a different way to partition your food intake. Now, for me, having more calories at the weekends in a lifestyle phase is probably natural. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I have more calories than the week, and that's great. But when you're dieting, it doesn't make sense to go super low on 4 to 5 days, to struggle the whole of the week with tiredness, hunger, you're moody, you're crabby, you don't want to be there, you don't want to go and do your training, you don't want to do your cardio, to then go and have a all-out meal on a Saturday. It doesn't make sense for your ability to stick to it over the long term. because most people have to diet for 12 to 20 to 24 weeks to get into the shape that they want to. And if you feel shit for 6 days a week to have one good day or one food focused day, you're doing this wrong, and it's not going to last in the long term. It's not going to last when you take away that dieting culture and you move into more of a lifestyle, because what you'll do is you'll still have that cheat day, but then your calorie increase on a day-to-day basis needs to be higher because you don't want to feel like crap when you're not in a diet. And therefore, you're just having more calories, and then you're having more calories on both sides of things, and that will jack up your calories to being in a surplus, and you'll just gain body weight quite readily. So if you're looking at the long term, cheat meals don't really help massively. Now, how do you have meals out then? How do you have the strategy to go out and have a social event? How do you go and pick from a menu? How do you go and enjoy what you want if you want a burger and chips, or you want to go and have a pizza? It's all strategy related. It's all calories related. It's all about finding a solution to your problem. So we will do another video on that. It's all about social events and managing those. But ultimately, if you're wanting a cheat meal, you haven't got the right mindset for the long term. You haven't got a good relationship with the intake that you have already, so you need to change that before we look at cheat meals or meals off plan. And thirdly, over the long term, even though the short term, they don't change anything physiologically, which doesn't give you any benefit for the rationale that why they were chosen in the first place. They're all just about you sticking to a diet for longer because you've got that all impending thing to focus on for Saturday. But it doesn't work in the long term. Like, that'll be great for 6 to 10 weeks, and then next minute the dieting from Monday to Saturday becomes really, really difficult. You start eating more during the week, as well as then having the cheat meal, and then you don't get any results. And then it's really hard to come out of that, and it just ends up into a yo-yo dieting restriction mentality.